Hey guys, welcome back to Saturday Night Sit Down, where we talk about love, marriage, money, and everything in between. I'm your host, Tammy Pinnock. If this is the first time of joining me, you are very, very welcome. And for those of you that keeps coming back every weekend, guys, you are the best. Thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, guys, please do consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any of my videos, and also you just help me to promote my channel. And also, guys, if you like the video that I put out there, you like my content, please do not forget to hit the like button at the end of the video. Thank you so much. Today's episode, guys, this is like really a message to Solomon Izang Ashoms. Solomon Izang Ashoms, the guy that has a channel on YouTube, Solomon's Temple. And on this episode, I'm basically just reacting to a video that he made, and a statement he made on Facebook, and he made a 90 minutes video on YouTube about the young DJ Zinhle. I think she's from South Africa. I don't know her, I've never heard of her before. On Solomon's channel was the first place that I heard about her. And Solomon made a statement on his Facebook page, and he said the lady she's got 2 children from different men, and she's not married, and she's not ashamed coming out publicly to celebrate her pregnancy. And he went on and said a lot of things about this young lady. And he made a statement in that video that really got me, and that was what really compelled me to wanting to make this video. He said because of girls like that, and he came up with statistics about single parents in Africa and all of that. But he made a statement that really got to me and really prompted me to make this video. He said because of all these single parents that are all over the world or all over Africa, that is why we have a dysfunctional society. And I just want to say, Solomon, you should know better. You really should know better. Let me just clarify that point that you said, that because of single parents, that is why we have a dysfunctional family. I can categorically tell you now that a dysfunctional society is not as a result of children that are raised by single parents. Okay? A dysfunctional society is as a result of children that are being raised by dysfunctional parents or parents. Okay? I'm going to repeat that. A dysfunctional society is not as a result of children being raised by single parents. A dysfunctional society is as a result of children being raised by dysfunctional parents or parents. Okay? There are a lot of children in our society that are being raised by single parents, and they are not dysfunctional. They've gone or grow up to be great people in the world. Just Google it. You are an educated man, so I feel you should know better. And also, if you look at it from the Christian perspective, because you proclaim to be a Christian, so I feel you should know better. You've read the Bible, you know the things of the Bible, you should know better. If you are coming out, like what you usually do, I respect you a lot because of what you do. You call out pastor for the wrong that they do, which is right for you to do, because God has told us that we should judge one of our own. So if our pastors or people that confess to be believers, when they are going wrong and you call them out, you are actually doing the right thing by doing that. But we as Christians, we are not placed in a position to judge people that are outside the faith. That is one thing that you should realize. We are not called to judge people that are outside the faith. You can advise, you can share your opinion, but calling them out, judging them, it is very wrong of you to do. Now, if we go by the Bible, even if you want to judge or you want to criticize, you have to criticize in love. For you to just single a young girl out to say, she's had 2 children for 2 different fathers, and she's not been married, and because of that, and she's proud to come and expose that pregnancy to the society, and people are celebrating her and people are congratulating her. Think about it for a minute. What do you expect her to do? You do not know the circumstances that is surrounding the birth of that child. You do not know the circumstances that the surrounding, that pregnancy that the girl is carrying. Would you have preferred for that young girl to have aborted that child? These are things that you should think about, but you just concluded you don't even know the full story surrounding a relationship. You don't know the full story surrounding the pregnancy. You don't know anything about this girl. You are an investigative journalist, and most of the pastors, most of the prophets that you call out, that you come out and expose, you do that because you have actually done your underground work by investigating them properly. But did you even investigate the story surrounding this girl? Obviously not. From what you have put out there, you haven't done any proper research around her. You just came out, you felt that she shouldn't be celebrating a pregnancy. What do you expect her to do? Do you know if that man or the first man has promised her marriage, and somehow, somewhere down the line, that thing didn't work out, but she was pregnant already? Would you have preferred her to abort that child and kill that child? Or do you expect her now, because she is pregnant and she's not married, you want her now to go into depression and die of shame? Now, do you even think about calling out the man that was, in the pregnancy, there are 2 people that are involved. What about you calling out the man and telling men to keep their dick in their pants? Did you ever think of calling out the man? And this is something that has been going on right from years, even before the time of Christ. It's always been the same thing. Women are always the one to take the blame. No matter what happened, men, because of your ego, you think that you can't be called out. So when it comes to children, when it comes to childbearing, when it comes to single parents, it's always down to the fault of the woman, and nobody thinks to call the men out. Now, I don't want to digress too much. I just want to, the purpose of this video, Solomon, is to tell you that when you are trying to criticize somebody, or you're trying to correct somebody, or you want to bring something out to the public domain, you need to do it in love, because you are a Christian. Don't just go about judging people. Okay? Now, let's take examples from the Bible. Situations from the Bible, because as a Christian, I thought you should always think, before you open your mouth to say things, you should always think, what would Christ do? If Christ, was in that situation, how would he react? Now, let's go into the Bible and see a few passages of how Christ handled situation, how he reacted to situations that are similar to this young girl that you have just called out publicly and shamed publicly. Now, let's look at the story, of the woman that was caught in the act in John 8, chapter 1 to 11. I know you know the story, and I know a lot of you know this story, but let me just paraphrase. In this story, the woman that was caught in the act, the Pharisees, they brought this woman to Jesus Christ, and they said to Jesus, this woman was caught right in the act of adultery. And in those days, in that time, under the laws of Moses, when a woman is caught in the act of adultery, she is supposed to be stoned to death. That was the law. So they brought this woman to Jesus, wanting to see what Jesus would say. Now, they were expecting Jesus to say, yes, the law is the law, so stone the woman to death. But what did Jesus Christ do? You know the story, Solomon, and I'm sure a lot of you know this story. Jesus Christ said to them, he that is without sin should cast the first stone. So all of you that they think that they are holier than thou, they are the righteous one, they are the upright one in the society, they are living by the law. Jesus only said one thing to them: he that thinks is without sin should cast the first stone. And lo and behold, they all walked away without stoning this woman to death. And why? Because there is no man on earth that is without sin. The Bible says we have all sinned and come short of the glory of God. Of the glory of God. It is only by His grace that you and I are living today. There is no man, there is no woman on earth that is without sin. We sin every day. So Jesus Himself did not castigate that woman. And when Jesus, lifted His head up, He saw that all the accusers of this woman, they've all gone. And He said to the woman, "Go ye and sin no more." He didn't judge her. He didn't even think of, sitting her down to, advise her not to do it again. He just said, "Go and sin no more." That was how Jesus Christ handled that situation. So compare what Jesus Christ, or compare how Jesus Christ handled that situation to the way that you have handled the situation of this young girl. Now let's look at another example in the Bible. Now this is the example of the woman, of the Samaritan woman. The woman that Jesus Christ met by the well. I'm sure you're very familiar with this passage as well, and I'm sure a lot of you Christians will be very familiar with this passage. Now, this woman that Jesus Christ met by the well, the Samaritan woman, and the bottom line of this story is that this woman has been married 5 times previously. She has been married 5 times previously, and she was currently living with a man in a house that she wasn't married to. Now, if you, and I'm sure Solomon, you know this story so well, if you're not familiar with this story, please go and refresh your memory. Jesus Christ did not judge this woman. Okay? Jesus did not tell this woman, "You are an adulterer or an adulteress, you are a sinner, you're not fit to stand before me." No, He did not. Rather, He was asking the woman for water. If the way you handled the situation, if you were in that situation of Christ, you wouldn't even go near that woman. In fact, after the woman left the well, you will get your disciples to come and cleanse the area of the well, because there has been a filthy, a dirty woman, a sinner that has been at the well to fetch water. But Jesus did not castigate this woman. Jesus did not judge the woman. Rather, Jesus knew that there was something missing in the life of this woman. And He told her that I will fill you up, with rivers of living waters. Jesus knew that there was a void in this woman that needed to be filled. And that is why she could not keep her first marriage. She could not keep the second, nor the third, nor the fourth, nor the fifth. And she was living with a man, the 6th man in the house, unmarried. But Jesus did not castigate this woman. He did not judge the woman. Rather, He told the woman the way to salvation, that He was the way, the truth, and the life. So when I watched your video and I saw the post that you made on Facebook, as much as I love you, Solomon, as much as I respect you, I have to tell you that this was, way, way, way beneath you. It is way, way, way beneath you. And if you sit back, and reflect, I'm sure you would see that on this one, you got it completely wrong. And also there are, another passage in the Bible, because from the way you say, things, sometimes you always say, "Yeah, I'm a married man, I'm raising my children in a godly way." Do you think you are perfect because you are married? Do you think because you are married, that is the way to Christ? Or do you think because your children are raised by a father and a mother, do you think that means that your children will grow up to be, good people in the society? If that is what you think, then you are so mistaken. You are wrong. Because there are so many people in the society today. They are killers, they are prostitutes, they are fraudsters in the society that were raised by both parents. Am I saying that it's wrong for a child to be raised by both parents? No, it is the right thing. But there are circumstances in life that sometimes prevent parents to raise their children, with a father and a mother. I use myself as an example. I was raised by a single parent. I was raised by my mom, not because she didn't get married. My mom got married, but unfortunately, my dad died at a very young age. I was only maybe at the age of 8 when my father died, and we were left with just our mom. So we were raised by a woman, a strong, godly woman. And God, Solomon, I'm telling you, today I have got 3 degrees. Yeah, I've got my first degree in performing arts. I went on to do my master's in human resource management, and I recently just completed my nursing degree. I've got a good job, I've got good family, and I'm living my best life. And I was raised by a single parent. So for you to come out and say children that are raised by single parents is why we have dysfunctional society, it's a wrong thing to say. It is very, very wrong thing to say. There are lots of successful people, successful men, successful women around the globe that were raised by either a single man or raised by a single woman. Okay, a dysfunctional society is as a result of children that are raised by dysfunctional parents. If 2 parents, a husband and a wife, are dysfunctional, the fruits that they will produce will be dysfunctional. And if it is single parents, that knows the values of life, they will end up raising good children with good values of life. It's as simple as that. Okay, so don't always come out and judge women because they're single or they are pregnant without being married. A lot of things happen. There are some women that the man has promised heaven and earth, and they end up being pregnant, and then the man just up and go. Irresponsible men. We have so much irresponsible men in our society. Why did you not call out the man? Why? Why didn't you say to the men that are there sleeping with women when they know that the result of having sex with a girl is pregnancy? You didn't call them out to wear condom when they are sleeping with these women. You didn't even shame them. You didn't castigate them for doing the deed and then running away from their responsibility. But you think it is right. It is a right thing for you to call out a poor girl that is still with everything that she has been through. She's still standing with her head held high, proud of the baby that she's carrying. And I tell you something, Solomon, you should know as a Christian that there's no child that comes to this world without God sanctioning it. There is no child that comes to this world without God sanctioning it. There are a lot of married couples that are praying for children. They are Christians. They are fervent in the things of God, but still God has not given them that child. So when a single mom or somebody that is not married becomes pregnant, trust me, God has a reason for that child. God has a reason for that event. He knows the end from the beginning. You and I do not know the end from the beginning. So who are you to call a poor girl out and judge her and castigate her because she is pregnant out of wedlock or because she's having a second child without marriage? And also, let me just read 1 Corinthians 10:12 to you. I am sure also, Mr. Solomon, you are very, familiar with this passage. Because from the way you are behaving lately, it seems that what I'm getting, or the message you are trying to portray is that you are so perfect. But 1 Corinthians 10:12 says, "Wherefore let him that thinketh is standeth take heed, lest he will fall." Okay? You need to be careful, Solomon. Don't think because you have a perfect family today that your family will be perfect forever. I don't wish your family, for something negative to happen to your family. But don't think it's because you are righteous or because you are perfect. That is why, or because you are in right standing with God. That is why you have a perfect family. He that thinketh is standeth should take heed, lest he falls. And this is a problem that most of our pastors, most of our prophets are going through. Because they all think that because they are called by Christ, they think they are so perfect. They think, they are better than everybody else. They think they can never fall. They think they can never sin. And this is what we are seeing. The result of that pride in them is what we are seeing today. Because the pride, and there is a saying that pride goes before the fall. Because they've got so much pride in them, they find themselves doing those things that they said they can never do. And this is the same, personality or character that you have started to portray. I can sense a lot of pride in your actions. I can sense a lot of pride in the things you say now, in the way you say things. I can sense a lot of pride in you. Please, Solomon, we love you so much. We love you so much. We do not want you to fall. So please, that pride that is now in you, come down from your high horse and follow that thing, that path that God has set you on. Follow it diligently. Be humble. Because I can see, I was reading all the comments in your comment section on Facebook, and I can see you, blocking people, going into petty arguments with people, because you think you're beyond criticism. You think you are always right, so therefore nobody else can come and criticize you. But you must learn to understand and know that for you to be great, you need to be able to listen and take and act on good criticism. Great people today are not people that think that they know it all. Great people of today are those, that took the criticism that they got, go home, sat, thought about it, reflected on it, and acted on it, and changed few things, and that is what makes great people great. So if you think when you put something out there, you think you are beyond criticism, you think people should just believe you or just take what you say, literally, and not criticize you, then Solomon, you are not ready to be a leader. Because your position now, believe it or not, you are in a place of leadership. You have followers, you have people that are following you, you have people that believes in you. So please, be humble. Okay? Be very humble. Don't let pride take over you. I read one of your comments. Somebody was telling you what you did was wrong, and you said and told you that you needed to apologize. You said, me, I can never apologize. You don't know me. If you think I'm going to apologize, you don't know me. It only says what? You are proud. You are a proud man. Please come down from that your high horse and be humble, and let God continue to use you to do the work that He wants you to do. The minute pride take over you, trust me, He is going to just drop you and replace you with someone else. Okay? And I can tell that, pride is beginning to come into you from your character and the things that you say by your title. And this is the same thing, that our pastors and our prophets, they come up with all these big titles just for people to respect them. And your title, when you come on, you just say, my name is Solomon Izang Ashoms. Now you have changed your title to Uncle Solomon. I find it so funny. Uncle Solomon. So do you expect your people that are of your father's age, of your mother's age, to now start calling you Uncle Solomon? If you are actually following the ways of the Bible, you would know that from the Bible, we are supposed to refer to each other as brethren. So what happened to Brother Solomon? What happened to changing your title if you want a title? What happened to people referring to you as Brother Solomon? Why uncle? It is a sign of pride. Okay? And this is the same thing that our pastors are doing. So when a pastor wants to introduce themselves to a stranger, instead of them to say, hello, my name is Tammy Pinnock, or my name is Mr. Smith, and they say, I am a pastor, because that is what they do, that is their profession. So normally you're supposed to say, I'm Tammy Pinnock, I'm a YouTuber. They will tell you, I am Pastor Mike Solomon. That is exactly the path that you are getting on slowly. Why do you have to say my name is Uncle Solomon? People call me Uncle Solomon. Change it to Brother Solomon. Pride is coming in. But that is aside, my point for this video. The main reason that I'm making this video, Solomon, is that please be willing to accept, constructive criticism. It's only going to make you better. And please don't single people out, little girl that is living her own life. Don't single them out to humiliate them and humiliate, the female race, the single mothers out there. This is the same thing that pastors are doing in the church. They humiliate single parents, single mothers. They use them as topic for Sunday service. It's not a good thing. It's not a Christ-like attitude. It's not a Christ-like personality. Christ will not humiliate them. He will not Christ will not castigate them. He will never humiliate them. Christ will never shame a single mother. He will never shame somebody that is, had 3 children from 3 different fathers. Just like he did it with a woman that had, 5 previous marriages and living with someone else. Same thing. Christ will not humiliate a woman, just like he didn't do with a woman that was caught in the act. If you want to correct somebody in love. Okay, that is all my message to you today, Mr. Solomon, and I love you so much, and that is the reason why I am sending you this message. Okay, that's it from me today, guys. The next Saturday, I remain your host, Tammy Pinnock. Bye now. Bye. Let it go, make my body go, take our bodies higher.